Afternoon, happy Thursday, or as I like to call it, happy Friday Eve. These aren't my cows, these are the neighbor's cows. I let the neighbor graze his cows on my property because I don't have my own cows yet. Thinking about getting steer, raising them up for meat. Haven't really decided yet. Haven't really decided a lot as far as the livestock goes. Thought about sheep and goats and pigs. All we've decided on so far is chickens. We've got layers right now. Well, I guess they will be layers when they're done growing up. They're about 3 or 4 or 5 weeks old. I don't know, somewhere in there. It's going to be a while before they start laying eggs. Thought about getting meat birds, maybe some turkey, raising turkey. It is turkey season right now, but it seems like all the turkeys are smart enough to say the F off my property when I'm around. Or maybe I'm just really bad at spotting them. I see them on the neighbor's property all the time, but I don't want to be picking off birds on his property. Haven't asked him if I could hunt there, and well, anyway, you know how it goes. So, you didn't tune in probably to listen to me ramble on about the adventures of Farmer John. Van Balen put out a video where he accused a governor candidate for Georgia of being a sovereign citizen. I don't know if there's any basis other than what Van Balen presented in his video, but in the video, he presented an interview given by this gubernatorial candidate for Georgia, wherein the candidate said that he wanted to get rid of driver's license and instead install a travel pass. And basically what it would be is it would be exactly the same thing as a driver's license, except you'd pay a one-time fee of $130 and it would be for a lifetime. Now, he called it a travel pass, but it sounds to me to be in all other respects a driver's license. Then you're going to say, well, can he do that? And the answer is probably yes. The states control driver's licenses. Yes, I know the federal government dips their fingers into it a little bit for commercial drivers. That'd be those drivers who are driving commercial vehicles being things like semis, and bobtails, and maybe vehicles over a certain weight. But generally speaking, the state controls, and even the state issues commercial driver's license. So, you may have a California commercial driver's license. It's issued by the state of California. If you F up in another state, you might have your California commercial driver's license, what do they call that? Not revoked, but suspended. I don't know. I don't remember the exact terminology, but you get the point. It's still a state driver's license. So the state has a lot of power when it comes to these driver's licenses. They can determine how much they charge you for them. They can determine how long each one lasts, how often you have to renew them. They can set a lot of the criteria by which they can either approve or deny you from having one. They control what goes on the tests, yada, yada. There's a lot of leeway because it is a state. It's a function of the state, not the federal government. Driver's licenses are a function of state, not federal government. Now, the federal government could dip into it because the federal government has control over interstate commerce and yada, yada. But at least as of now, states have most of the control over driver's licenses. So that being said, a governor can influence heavily what a state does as far as driver's licenses are concerned. Now, I'm not an expert on the way Georgia is structured, at least their government, but I can assume that since they are required by the Constitution to be a Republican form of government, they have a governor, which is self-evident because we're talking about a candidate for governor, and they have at least one house, if not two, houses of Congress. I think only one state has a single house of Congress. Most states have two, an upper and a lower house, but I don't know if that's Georgia or not. So we know they have a governor. We know they have at least one, if not two, houses of state legislature. And then we know they have a judicial branch because that is what all the states have. And whether or not a governor can push through that, I mean, if it's a matter of state policy or if it's an executive order that set that stuff up, maybe he can directly affect it. If it's not, maybe he has to push it through the legislative branch to try to get a change like that made. But that's a political issue. That's not a legal issue. It's a political issue. So you're not a sovereign citizen if you're suggesting a change in the law. A sovereign citizen would be somebody who ignores what the law is and maybe only picks and chooses the aspects of the law that they believe are in their favor and then ignore all the law that is against them. But in this case, the governor's literally saying, I understand or the governor candidate saying, I understand what the law is. I am proposing a change to the existing law for a lifetime driver's license, essentially, that gets called by a different name and has a $130 single time charge. I mean, that's what he's suggesting. That doesn't sound, well, okay, let me phrase this carefully. That doesn't sound sovereign citizen-y to me. It doesn't sound very smart to me. I mean, I don't know necessarily that a lifetime driver's license would be a good idea, especially considering that things can change and, people's vision can go bad over time and their reflexes can slow down and they could have strokes and dementia set in and things like that. And you might not want to have those people driving, but what do I know? I'm just some idiot family law attorney out of California. But, if the people of the state of Georgia decide that they want to have a lifetime driver's license and they elect a governor to implement that, then I mean, that's not sovereign citizen. That's just politics. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.